Welcome to Cosmic Diaries. This is Priya Kale, your astrologer, and welcome to the week beginning January 26th. So we're heading, and before I begin and before I forget, sign up at cosmicdiaries.com for my newsletter so that way you can stay in touch, because a lot is changing in the skies and here below and in my life, and that's the best way to stay in touch. Also, do subscribe at my YouTube channel because I'll be uploading these videos there weekly, and that way you have a weekly overview. But with that said, we're entering a big week and we're heading to a powerful full moon in Leo on the 28th. At the time of the full moon, the sun will be conjunct Jupiter, which is considered the luckiest day of the year. But there are other aspects unfolding as Venus conjuncts Pluto as well on the same day. So the energy is passionate and smoldering, and there's dramatic developments taking place and coming to the surface. And this is a powerful culmination of a cycle that began 2 weeks ago with the Capricorn new moon. But before we dive into that, let's start with, we're just past a Sun-Saturn conjunction, which took place on the 23rd of January, just a few days ago. And this has asked us to, face up to some difficult truths. We're entering a new chapter and we're entering new territory. This is the first Sun-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius since Saturn has entered Aquarius in December. So what's unfolding this week is really bringing home the lessons of the transit and the lessons we're going to be learning over the next 2.5 years. And so it's important that you move in awareness. Also, you're laying the foundation in the area of your life ruled by Aquarius now. You're laying the foundation for the next 2.5 years and possibly the next 30 years. So again, awareness is called for, and dig deep for your integrity and stay rooted in your integrity. Know where you stand, because there's a stellium of planets moving into Aquarius, and if you haven't noticed already, wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, that area of your life is about to start buzzing if it isn't already. But yeah, moving past the Sun-Saturn conjunction, we're in a new chapter, we're entering new territory, and this is a chance to do things differently. Earlier today, the sun was square Uranus, and we're breaking free of past patterns and old cycles. Earlier this month, Jupiter was square Uranus, and next month Saturn will make its first square to Uranus of 3 squares that continue over the course of the year. So what's unfolding right now, again, we're breaking free of ancient past patterns, and the moon currently is in Cancer, and this is drawing us past our comfort zone. But the more you can flow with this energy and remain detached yet grounded in your values and your integrity, you can find a way to flow with it and reach a real breakthrough, because doors that were closed previously are now open, and there are new doors opening, and there's new opportunities arising as the week progresses and the weeks and months and year progresses. On the 27th, which is tomorrow, the moon continues to move through Cancer, and it will make a trine to Neptune and oppose Venus and Pluto. And then it will enter Leo at 9:55 p.m. on the 27th of January. And this is, of course, in New York. So on the 27th, with the moon in Cancer, Cancer is a sign that rules our emotions, and it's a water sign. So there are powerful emotions surfacing now as we move to the full moon, and the moon grows full. Emotions are swelling like the tide. And with the moon's opposition to Venus and Pluto, this powerful desire surfacing, but relationships are transforming, financial situations are transforming, and all matters of the heart and creative situations are in a state of transformation now. But it's important that you not feed or engage in power struggles. If you feel like you're caught up in a power struggle, let go. And then you can flow with this energy rather than try to control things. You can't control your own emotions, and you certainly can't control someone else. So the more you can flow with it and allow yourself to just feel what you feel, acknowledge what you feel, but remain detached. the sun is in Aquarius, you can navigate this consciously rather than, repeating destructive cycles. On the 28th, that's the big day, the sun will be conjunct Jupiter, and we have a full moon in Leo, which takes place at exactly 2:16 p.m. And earlier that morning, Venus conjuncts Pluto at 11:18 a.m. So this is powerful, this is passionate, there's powerful emotions, passionate emotions, sexual desires rising. Financially, there's a powerful transformation underway, and again, creative matters and matters of the heart. And this is a major culmination of a cycle that began yes, with the Capricorn new moon, because that Capricorn new moon was conjunct Pluto. So what was in the shadows then is coming dramatically to light now with the moon full. And Venus is repeating that aspect at the time of the new moon, and as she conjuncts Pluto. So this is still an ongoing story. So there's still more to a story to discover, and there's still more that's coming to light. So move slowly, move patiently. Mercury stations retrograde on the 30th of January, only 2 days after this full moon. So at the time of the full moon, Mercury is stationary and in its storm phase, and that's the time when information tends to surface. In Aquarius, there's powerful truth surfacing, and you don't have the full story, you don't have the full picture, and there's a lot more to a story than meets the eye. So again, at the risk of repeating myself over and over, move slowly and wait as more information surfaces and you have more clarity. With the full moon in Leo, Leo is the sign that rules the heart. It rules our consciousness. It also rules the ego. So especially with Venus also rules the heart. And with Venus conjunct Pluto, it's important that now that you're not trying to control your desires, not trying to control someone else, not trying to manipulate a situation, or even control, trying to control outcomes or being attached to outcomes. With the sun in Aquarius asks for detachment above all. And with the sun conjunct Jupiter at this time, there's a sense that, everything is magnified. So emotions are anyway heightened at the time of a full moon, and right now it's like the dial's been turned up to 100 with Venus, Pluto, and the sun conjunct Jupiter. So if you're enjoying this energy, by all means, go ahead. But if there's something that's upsetting you now, then it's important that you take a step back and take a dispassionate approach or a more detached approach to what's unfolding. Because the energy is very magnetic, and what's coming to light now, yes, things that were being seeded at the time of the new moon in Capricorn are coming to light. But on a greater scale, this really is the culmination of a larger 6-month cycle. So it would be very important now to look back at what was unfolding around the 18th of August. Sorry, my nails are a mess. There was a new moon in Leo on the 18th of August. Shortly after that new moon, on the 24th of August, Mars made its first square to Saturn. And then shortly after that, on the 30th of August, Venus made an opposition to Pluto. So now, as we 6 months later, that was the Leo new moon cycle. Now this is a larger culmination of a larger 6-month cycle, this Leo full moon that began back then. It's a culmination of the 2-week cycle that began with the Capricorn new moon, as well as a larger 6-month cycle that began with the new moon in Leo on August 16th. So look back to what was unfolding then. We've been through a long journey over the past 6 months. Mars has made a total of 3 squares to Saturn. So the first square began with that Leo new moon, and the last square took place right at the time of this Capricorn new moon 2 weeks ago. So now we're past 3 squares, 3 Mars-Saturn squares, and Venus, who was opposite Pluto at the time of that new moon 6 months ago, has now made a 180-degree journey and is conjunct Pluto. So this is the culmination of a larger 6-month cycle. And it's like, it would be helpful to look back to your journey over the past 6 months. You've learned powerful lessons, and it's been a time of growth, and it's asked for maturity. And now, as you enter this new chapter with Saturn in Aquarius, and the Sun past its conjunction to Saturn, this is a chance to do things differently. You're seeing in hindsight, you're gaining insight into situations. Leo is a sign that rules the heart, it rules the ego, it also rules the self. So this is a moment for self-reflection, really, and to reflect on your role in the creation of a situation that you currently face and perhaps the recent past, because you're learning important lessons now about yourself, and there are powerful desires arising that, detachment is called for, but it's also important that you recognize your role in the creation of a situation as it stands. Only then can you find the power within it or within yourself to change something. Otherwise, as long as we keep blaming others for our circumstances, we're always going to feel at the mercy of others. It's only in taking responsibility for your role in the creation of something can you end a cycle or change a pattern or break free of a pattern. Because any cycle, any destructive cycle, especially with Venus conjunct Pluto, whether this could relate with, toxic patterns surrounding or sexual attachments, or even attachments to success or appearances, or what something looks like, or what a relationship looks like externally, or what success looks like in the eyes of the world. I mean, it's time to break past all of this conditioning and look into the heart of someone or something, and look into your own heart and your own desires. This is a process of purification, and something that you thought was dead and gone, because full moons can suggest the end of a cycle or culmination of a cycle. But with the Venus conjunct Pluto, there's a powerful resurrection underway. So there's a sense of something resurrecting from the ashes of the past, especially in relationships and financial situations, and even in your own creativity and confidence, self-confidence. There's a need now to be grateful. No matter what's unfolding with Sun conjunct Jupiter, there's a sense that you are protected, and there is a safety net, and there's a gift here for you, and there are major opportunities arising. But again, that's why with that Venus conjunct Pluto, it's important that you're staying true to your values and not compromising your values at any cost. And especially not, with the attachment or desire of gain. Sorry, you saw my mess in the back. But this will call for conscious letting go of your attachments to sex, money, relationships, appearances, and allowing space for something to transform. Again, this is very magnetic energy, so whatever it is that you desire, you can draw it to you, but it will come through a level of detachment rather than trying to control something or force something. As Mercury stations retrograde on the 30th, Mercury enter shadow on the 15th of January. And as I've mentioned in a previous forecast, what's been unfolding between the 15th of January and the 30th of January with Mercury's retrograde, rather the 13th, this past 2 weeks. This is triggering a series of events and setting in motion a chain of events that unfold over the course of 2021. So move in awareness. With Mercury stationing retrograde, there are important truths surfacing. You're learning truths about yourself. It's a chance to really be honest and keep that space open for honest, heartfelt conversations. If something upsets you, then, it's important that you, especially the Sun will make the exact square to Mars on the 1st of February. So it's important that, this energy is still active. We're very much under the influence of the full moon, and emotions are still running high. So it's important that, if something upsets you, that first of all, to try and avoid personalizing situations, to be patient, to move in a spirit of acceptance, self-acceptance above all of the desires that are surfacing, because you're learning things now that perhaps desires within you that you didn't know you had, or truths that you didn't, there's darker truths as well that could be surfacing. And this is, again, not for the faint-hearted, but you're also learning what's precious in a situation and what's golden in a situation. And there is something that's, almost rare and precious as a diamond right now. But it takes special eyes to see. And it's important now that you're staying true to your values and know who you value, what you value, why you value. And then having more courage and confidence in yourself and self-awareness and the ability to be vulnerable. Even, if someone has wronged you or you feel like someone has wronged you, this is a chance for compassion and for forgiveness. Because with Venus conjunct Pluto, you're learning the power of love to transform something. But that means allowing space for transformation to happen. And yeah, forgiveness is really not for someone else, it's for you. So you don't need to carry something forward. We're all human, we all make mistakes. So if you feel someone's wronged you, you don't have to wait for an apology, you can forgive on your own. And again, as you accept your role in the creation of something, it's also important that if you've been mistaken, or if you're wrong about something, there's nothing wrong with, with ego, there can be that ego. With Leo, there can be that ego or pride. So it's important that you're not letting your pride or ego or defenses stand in the way of something that you truly desire. Or maybe just saying, I'm sorry, or I was mistaken. There's nothing wrong with admitting your mistakes if you've been mistaken. And in that humility and in that self-awareness, you can bring about a powerful transformation. Finally, with Venus conjunct Pluto, this is all about power. This is very powerful, but Venus is the planet that rules the heart again. Venus is about love and our relationships and money. But if Pluto is the planet of death and transformation, the only thing that survives death is love. There's no other energy. All physical matter dies. Everything else in the world is transient. The only thing that survives even death is love. So yes, something is changing, but you are changing powerfully as well. And as long as you can keep the love alive, whatever lessons you've learned, you can't change the past, but you can learn from it. And if you can keep the love alive in something or in your own heart, you can find a way to transform even the most challenging of situations, or breathe new life into something that you thought was done and dusted and dead and gone. And that is what is precious and valuable in a situation, and that's love. And you're learning that right now. So on February 1st, finally, the sun squares Mars, and we are turning this corner. And this full moon is, with Mars in a T-square to this full moon, it's a powerful turning point. It's a pivotal turning point. So the more you can let go of the past consciously and stay in the present, you can create a new reality. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to do this down. But you're learning the power of love to transform something, or you're about to. So keep an open heart, move past your ego, move past appearances, and look into the heart of situations. And trust that whatever you're discovering important truths about yourself and other people. But with Jupiter conjunct the sun, trust there's a blessing here for you, even if it feels like a blessing in disguise. There is a blessing here for you. And what you need now is to have more faith in yourself and in the universe, and then trust that you will be guided. So, and of course, again, it's about you being honest with yourself and knowing what you want, because Leo is very spontaneous energy, and it allows for taking that risk and being courageous and vulnerable. So, I'm sorry, I'm so out of breath, but have faith, be bold, be honest with yourself, and you can reach a real breakthrough now. And this can be a really liberating moment where as you find the courage to be yourself, you can then be an inspiration to those around you to help them to be themselves. And this is not something that you need to do, but it's something that will come naturally as part of your being. So the more you can accept yourself and the parts of yourself that, even you find unacceptable, you can find a way to change them and evolve and grow. This is an inner purification process, so you can shine like the star that you are. So that's all I'll say for now. And I will be back with you with more next week. But I wish you a very happy full moon and lots of love, and love yourself. You are beautiful. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe at YouTube and sign up at my website at cosmicdiaries.com, and I'll be back with you next week. Ta-da for now.